What's poppin', y'all? This streamer, who is a relative newcomer in the past 9 to 12 months, put on by Kai Cenat by the name of Lil Rodney's son, also known as Girl He Funny, also known as Reggie, has gotten himself into a little bit of a sticky situation with DDG. That started off with DDG making some comments on this individual's ex-girlfriend, defending her a little bit, but then alluding to the possibility of this guy Reggie having not fell off, but having not been on top of things and believing that it was because of the girl. Due to this, the guy Reggie replied, and I covered all of this in a previous video, he replied with this clip that I'm going to play you guys right now.
She posted Cash App scams. She got paid for a promo.
Mind your business, bro. Mind your business, gang. Focus on that trash music, my. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Mind your business. Say anything. Mind your business. It's not even your beef. Mind your business, gang. You 40 years old, my nigga. Mind your business. I never heard a nigga say cut on that new DDG. I never heard a nigga say cut on that new DDG. I never heard a nigga say that. Mind your business, bro. Like, you're 30.
So in this clip, he's telling DDG to mind his own business. DDG threatens him and says this isn't who you want to do this with. And he tries to mellow out the situation. But the next day, he just came on 10. And like, I see the weed in the guy's background. Apparently, he enjoys smoking a lot. I thought smoking was going to calm some people down. This guy, I don't want to know what he's on if he's not on the weed. Because he just went in on everybody. And he even called out DDG for hitting up Kai Cenat. So Kai Cenat is really who gets a lot of credit for putting this guy on. The only reason I had heard about him as a streamer was via Kai Cenat, and I didn't even know what a Lil Rodney son was. So I'm gonna play you guys the clip where he calls out DDG again and doubles down.
Ain't no nigga that don't want beef with, bro. Fuck is the internet? You don't give a fuck. Y'all keep thinking y'all Thanos. What is you talking about, nigga? You niggas don't. Bro told me don't even do this, bro. Bro told me don't even do this. Bro told me don't even do this. DDG hit Kyle like, bro, can you tell your mans chill? Cause I'm finna go at him. Should've just went at me. Why you calling, bro? You niggas calling niggas on me. You niggas calling niggas on me. Bro, you calling around. You man. Y'all these niggas y'all praise though. Calling on me, bro. Get your mans. He wildin'. You a grown ass man. Y'all teaming up. I'm popping. I don't care. F all y'all bro. When y'all see me, don't shake my hand.
You be like, hey, that's why your shoes untied. He'd be like, oh, hey, that's why your granny died. If I'm flick you with my finger, nigga, that don't mean that you throw a haymaker. That means you flick a nigga back. You know what I'm saying? And then it goes from a regular joking matter to a fucking now we got to box, now we got to fight, now we got to do all this other shit because you don't understand levels of joking.
Joke with this nigga. As a grown ass man, not trying to hear all that, bro. My nigga, you only started streaming because your other careers, you know the real, my nigga. If you didn't start streaming, how well would that music be doing? DDG, that's my honest question. If you didn't start streaming, how well would that music be doing, bro? Like, none of you niggas is bigger than Big Bro. Kai Cenat gonna always be bigger than you little niggas, bro. Shout out to my niggas, man. Then I seen them other niggas.
I love this. You know why I love this? For a couple of other reasons. For many reasons, actually. And on both sides. Now, off rip, DDG, I think he's right for this. And he shouldn't get, like, clowned for this. Because in the background, DDG's trying to figure out, like, yo, is this a real situation? So he's trying to call Kai and be like, hey, is this guy trolling? Are we faking this beef for content? Because you got to think, like, number one, beef sells. But I think DDG is saying, like, yo, do I actually need to take this personal and go in on this guy? Or can it be a friendly beef where we both cloud up off of it? We both gain a ton of subs. We both make a bunch of money. And we can both come out of this on the positive. And also, like, yo, can you tell him to chill on these certain topics? Because this isn't what I want to beef on. So he's going behind the scenes. He's not keeping it in front of the cameras. This is more of a mature, not a mature DDG, just a mature take in general. Like calling that guy's boy and telling him like, hey, like, what can we work? And now it depends what the call went. If he was like, yo, make sure that guy don't talk to me like that, that's a different story, because then he's just trying to like pull strings behind the scenes because he doesn't want to get into beef. But so that's why I like what DDG did here. You can tell that he tried to not wave a white flag, but he tried to work some negotiations behind the scenes and not do it for clout to make sure relationships were maintained. Lil Rodney's son, though, I love this because he's saying, man, not necessarily that F Kai, but he's saying like, yo, y'all trying to go behind my back and make peace off of some other guy. Like, y'all pretending like he run what I got going on. What I got going on is what I got going on. And regardless, I'm going to step on this and said, yo, you should have just came at me. And I just love the whole grown man thing because this guy is a grown man. He's like 21, 22. And that's the funny thing. I thought he was significantly younger than Kai. Kai's like, 23? He couldn't be past 23. And then you've got the Rakai guys, I think, who people like try to not compare, but may make a confusion because the Rakai dude is younger than, like, for example, if Rakai's like, y'all are grown men, I understand. I don't know if he's 18 yet. I know he was 16, 17 initially, but yeah, if he's 18, I'm willing to say like, yo, y'all are grown men. But yo, dog, this dude, Lil Rodney's son, has been a grown man for several years. So this whole grown man thing's got to go out the window. But I like the energy. He's like, yo, nobody's gonna stop me. Like, yeah, I appreciate Kai. I don't got nothing bad to say about him. We're cool. We're locked in. But I'm my own man, and you got a problem? Come handle that problem with me. So, and then he doubles down on FaZe. So when he was trying to not diffuse the situation, when he was just trying to be honest and talk about DDG's music, what he said was, yo, at least I'm gonna keep it a buck with these streamers. Blackboy Max is trash. I can't say DDG's that trash. DDG's got numbers. Like, his music is trash, but he's got numbers. So of course, Blackboy Max's community, they start coming at Lil Rodney's son, and in this clip, he decides to say F everybody.
Into the clips of shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie, my FaZe, y'all FaZe, bro. FaZe, man, no cap, boy. Like, it could be up with y'all niggas too, bro. Get back, little nigga, stop crying. Get back. Grown ass man crying. Get back, nigga, get back, nigga. Get back, nigga, let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. Streaming world was mad boring, y'all niggas pussy. Turn it up, nigga. This me.
Max hasn't even streamed in a month and a half. How are people?
Man, that nigga Max told me he was pulling up to my stream. He should have pulled up, man. Niggas know what it is. Don't give a fuck. Max told me he was gonna pull up to my stream twice. Bro, I'm a grown ass man, gang. Don't play with me, mud. Don't give a fuck what no nigga talking about. You feel me? Should have pulled up on that stream, mud. I don't give a fuck what no nigga. Should have pulled up. I'm not pussy, bro. I'm in the industry now. Y'all gotta see me one day. You feel what I'm saying? So I'ma just keep doing me, mud. Like, fuck it. Y'all niggas gotta fuck with me. Y'all niggas gotta fuck with me, bro. No cap. I got the bros. Niggas ain't gotta fuck with me. I'ma just grind my way to the top like
I love this energy. I love it because, number one, like, Blackboy Max, he's not really dissing Max, but what people started pulling up is that when Blackboy Max was in Atlanta, I think it was, Lil Rodney's son was trying to get a stream in with him, and they were like, yo, you were trying to chase clout on Max. But what this guy is putting out is that, like, yo, Max said he was gonna link me twice, and then he didn't link me. So we had already made, like, plans, and then they just fell through. Typical rapper behavior. He's really living up to the rapper image that he wants to portray. And I can confirm that Max has done this to several people, to where he'll, like, only hit them up if it's content, or let's say they were supposed to do content and then he just cancels it last minute or replaces the person with somebody else, things like that. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily like snaky behavior, but people are going to feel a certain type of way about that. Like, for example, I'm the type of person where, yo, if you make a commitment, honor the commitment. That's it. I'm not going to say, yo, I'm going to be here and I'm not going to be there. So if somebody does that to me, I may be understanding, but that's where it ends. Like, we're not going to keep doing this whole dog and pony show because I have a lot of respect for my time. I value my time highly, and you know, that varies across the board. Some people are willing to like wait a very long time for somebody. I'm not, especially when you made that commitment. So Lil Rodney said he didn't come out of nowhere and say that, but people kept going in on him and he didn't even bring that up. So I don't think he was necessarily salty. He was just like, oh, okay, I guess stuff happens. And I'm the same way. I'll be like, yo, you know, things happen, but it seems to me that things happen with rappers a lot more frequently than things happen with somebody else. So, yeah, that's just one thing why I mess with him. And also, who the hell is going to beef with them on FaZe? Like, who do we got? We've got, you got guys getting slapped by Bradley Martin in the middle of the gym, deservedly so, for trying to, like, take his hat off. You've got another guy that used to be morbidly obese and then lost a bunch of weight, and now his community's going at him because he's like all gushed up over a chick. Who else do you got on FaZe? You got Silky, who I don't know too much about, but Silky's cool. I don't think that guy's actually got a problem with him. Who else? That's really all I can think of. You've got Max, but who else is on FaZe? I'm forgetting. It's escaping me. So he's just taking this villain role and saying F FaZe. Like, what are they really gonna say? I don't think Silky's gonna take offense to this. Not personally, at least. So what does that leave? Now, if Silky does take offense to this, that's good. That's good for beef. That's good to blow him up. Personally, I think Silky's really the only one with sauce like that on FaZe. I don't really consider Blackboy Max FaZe that much. Oh, there's also Rage. See, like, these guys, I don't really consider them FaZe because there's just not that much of a gel between them and like a stable Ronaldo or a Lacey. But yeah, I don't think Rage is going to take offense to this either. I think he finds this entertaining. I think he loves this. And I love this, man. Like, somebody that's willing to be the villain. I'm the villain. This guy's listening to a little bit too much Yay. So this continues. So Dub, who is DDG's brother, he goes on another tirade coming at Lil Rodney's son now. So now everybody's talking about this guy. And this continues. So I'm going to play you guys these two Dub clips, and then we're going to get in. So Dub is the guy that threw some hands for DDG when DDG said, go handle that at the DreamCon convention.
I know I wouldn't be nowhere without my brother. But you just said, where would I be without my son? I put my son on. And then you said broke. Bro, everybody in your family is broke. Everybody in my family is rich. Every single person. Everybody in your family is broke. So you are on right now, Lil Reg, and every single person in your family is broke. Every single one. Including moms. Including things, every single person. So you can't say that. Put your family on. Quit putting Kai in the fucking occasion. You was streaming for 70 days straight with 9 niggas in there. 9. The fuck you talk about who would know somebody because of who? What the fuck? Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. You know me. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? The fuck you gonna say some nigga made me and you saying a nigga made you? The reason why niggas even know you, gang, not for them Instagram skits, not for none of that shit, it's when me, Zias, and B-Lou, and Deshae put you on that call. Nobody would know you, bitch ass nigga. It's a nigga right now that's in your room streaming 4 days straight. I ain't seen you in that bitch. I donated, nigga. Put them little niggas on, then we can have that conversation. Them little niggas was in your room. Y'all ain't never seen Lil Rodney's son put that shit on his story, nigga. I ain't never seen no tweet from you put them little niggas on your story. How the fuck you telling them they gotta grind nigga and you didn't? You talk about get them little niggas out that little ass room.
I'm gonna keep it real. I can't disagree with Dub here. Like, Dub put his son on, but he got put on because of DDG. And there is a little bit of a sidebar conversation that I'd like to have about this topic. I don't believe you need to put your family on. I'm keeping it real. Like, you, especially if they've got stable jobs. Now, if they're down bad, that's different. But if they're down bad because of poor habits, you're only going to sink yourself if you try to help them out. So the whole, like, yeah, you know, I got to make sure everybody's eating around me. Do you? Really? And also, like, how are you really going to put them on if it's not on some content stuff? Like, some people's family don't want to be content. They don't want to be entertainers. Now, there is, like, other things that they could handle. Like, for example, Polo G helped put on his family. Like, his mom, he had her managing him. His brother, he had him robbing. Well, he tried to get his brother on the straight and narrow with music. Yeah, Polo G signed his brother, but his brother he just wanted to stay in the streets. So DDG's family, they were down to do the content stuff, and DDG did help them, and Dub did put his son on. Although, like, it's a family effort. That's why I can't really say, like, yo, your brother put you on. Yeah, but Dub actually kept grinding, and he's a loyal guy, and that's family. That's like saying, yo, you know, like, you're only rich because you're you're in America. It's not like a one-to-one analogy, but so yeah, the person's American, that's their country, and they are going to benefit from the opportunities that are in that country. Same thing with family. The thing is, you can't just put somebody on and them stay on. Like, they've got to actually work. And this dude Dub is working. So I got to give him credit there. He's right. And you can't say something about somebody else's family if your family's not up. Now, if your family is like doing fine, you're like, yo, my family's regular 9 to 5s. They're not struggling for anything. Yeah, they're not living lavish, but not everybody needs to live lavish. That's another thing. But then when he goes on to the point about like Kai, and one thing that it made me respect this little Rodney son guy, he's like, yo, he streamed 70 days straight for 9 people. Can we clap it up for that? Because this guy was already popular on Instagram. I do know, I will be fair. Lil Rodney son, that name, this guy, I only know it because of Kai Cenat and because I started to see it everywhere. Now, I did know Girl He Funny and I did know the skits, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And those are 2 completely different verticals and formats. Like, somebody's short form skits, comedy is different from that person being a mainstream fixture in streaming. And you could see why, because Dub was saying he was streaming to like 9 people, even if it was like 40 people. He might be down in the numbers a little bit. Who knows? But I respect the guy for streaming that long. That means he deserves his success. If he was willing to endure that, then he demonstrated like, yo, I've got what it takes for this in terms of effort. Because one thing that I think Kai Cenat gets a lot of credit for, or they try to be like, yo, Kai Cenat put this person on, but I think Kai Cenat does a really good job of choosing the right person to put on that's going to continue to work. Because there are a lot of people that get put on and they get lazy and they fall off. Kai is choosing people who he knows are going to continue working hard and continue going up. And that's what's happened with every single person that he's put on thus far. So I think that's a more underrated element of Kai spotting talent that people don't really recognize and give credit to. But this situation even got Zeus and Bilu weighing in. Zeus and Bilu, they're really close with DDG. And these guys, I would say they're like the Switzerland of streaming and content creation. They don't really have problems with anybody. If somebody has a problem with them, I'm more inclined to believe that that individual is the problem, especially Zeus. Like, the guy really tries to keep the peace a lot of the time and try to be level-headed. But they address this situation in the following clip.
That's all I gotta say.
All right, man. It's not that fucking deep. It's really not.
In all honesty, I feel like,
I mean, I get the what I get.
It's the internet, though, bro. Reggie brought it to the internet. You made it public. If it was like personal business, that it was personal, I can understand. I can understand that point. But you brought it to the internet. Streamers, supporters sent for people to react to. He gave his 2 cents in. I don't think DDG gave his 2 cents because he actually gave a. It's just responding in the moment.
And this is like what I said in my previous video. I say, yo, there's no mind your business. This is our business. You're a streamer and your girl's doing content or talking about it, or your ex-girl, whatever the case may be, and people are talking about her. Yeah, this is all of our business right now. So it was already on the internet. But I did give Rodney son some grace and say like, hey, if you have a personal relationship with somebody and you're both on the internet, you can choose not to talk about certain things. You can just be like, yo, that's him and his girl situation. You know how people get with that. I'm not going to speak on that. That's my man's. It's that easy. And the audience will be like, okay, we get it. Or you can make them get it. So that's just the only part where I would say, not Zeus is wrong necessarily, but I could understand the frustration because that could have been handled in a different way. But that's just, I wouldn't say that's me nitpicking, but that's just how I would have handled it personally. And then in the next clip, this is also how you know he's really, really, really up with it and just so locked in. This is one thing I really do admire about DDG is him throwing lobs to his brother. So instead of making an announcement and saying that, yo, I'm going to address this and getting all the people on his stream, he calls in to his brother Dub's stream and says, yo, it's up. It's real beef. They have a conversation over the phone. That gets clipped. That gets spread everywhere. And now Dub is the one getting not the credit, but people are seeing him as a streamer and then they're going to funnel into him. So he's doing Dub a solid instead of just holding that moment to address him on his own stream. So this is like kind of that relationship where he's just helping him out. And, they work off each other. Like, Dub is handling situations for DDG. Dub is also making his own content, etc. So
much. Lord, Larry Grady.
Reggie, you bitch. You so nigga. You think this is a game? It's finna get real serious for you. I can't wait to get online. Hey, Dejan, saw that nice shit. Get on his ass, bro. Nigga ain't no little boy. This nigga Popping, please. You grown man, I'm a kid. I'm on your ass. I tried to say you. Get on his ass, bro. We on this nigga ass, bro.
That's what I told him, bro. He too broke. He gonna be broke in a couple months. This nigga he ain't Bruce. Nigga.
I guess in a year he gonna need that. Well, he gonna need that. He gonna need that Kai stimulus package times 3, nigga. Need that shit.
All right, let me get on this.
You finish your live, my bad.
Get on this.
I like this. I like to see this camaraderie, especially in family, man. It's not an easy thing for family to do well. And like, for example, like we saw with KSI and his brother Deji, like Deji a lot of the times fell off. Deji was lazy. Deji wouldn't, like, he felt like, and there's this also like being in your older brother's shadow situation. It doesn't seem like that's hampered Dub at all. He just understands like, yo, this is big. This is my brother, and we're going to handle this like we're family. First and foremost, and whatever he does, whatever win that he makes is a win for all of us. And I also think it's because of how DDG handles his role too, where it's on some, yo, this is for all of us, this is for family. I'm not trying to compete with any of y'all. I'm trying to bring everybody up with me, and it's really a beautiful thing, man. Because I've seen it too many times. Like, it's not that family screws you over necessarily; it just ends up not working because of whether it be laziness, whether it be a little bit of not jealousy, but like fans kind of coming between the brothers or family in general and things like that. So then Rodney's son replies to DDG's brother Dub in this hilarious clip, which to sum it up, it's 2 words: you're 30.
Then the other old he keep yelling at his camera like, bro, you're 30. When I'm 30, I'm not streaming, bro. I'm living a normal life. Like, nigga be 30 years old on stream. Like, where's your family, bro? Like, when I'm 30, I'm not streaming, gang. Not gonna lie. No cap. I hope I make as much cheese as I can make. You feel what I'm saying? The right way, humbly, without scamming my fans and like that. Hope I can make as much cheese and just live comfortable, bro. I'm not trying to stream at 30. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not reacting to them niggas either. Like, it's just, it's crazy, bro. Like, that ass. Said that your 30 is played out. You a man. You must be 32. Bro, right there must be 30, bro. That shit crazy. Certain shit I say only apply for the opposition, boy. I ain't gonna lie. Don't apply for the guys. Only apply for other niggas. Like, bro, you're 30. Like, why you even... like, how you even get in a stream of beef at 30, dog? That ain't crazy to y'all. Like, and you're 30. Like, how are you even in a stream of beef? How you explain that? Like, that don't even make sense, gang. Like, that's crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, so as you just saw in that clip, this is really the hubris and the arrogance of somebody that's young. I've been there. We've all been there. I was like, you're just talking about like, man, by the time I'm 25, especially if you're like 17, 18, 19, and keep in mind, this guy's 21 and lit. That's completely different from, being 21 and you're a college student. You're like, okay, there's still like time to go. He's making money now. So he's thinking like, yo, 30 is so far away. 30 is so old. I won't be doing this when I'm 30. Remember when Uzi was talking about like, yo, he's retiring at 25? Yeah, we still see him putting up sad, pouty faces, the same that he was doing 10 years ago. Like, come on. A lot of people think that they're going to do a certain thing. And this is the thing. That's imagining that you would even be doing this until 30. Like, what is it that you're going to do at 30? That's the thing. Like, what are you going to graduate to? Like, maybe you're like, yo, I'm going to be acting at 30. Okay. Like, where's your family? That guy's family is the content. The family is the business. That dude Dub. And earlier I was talking about like brother relationship and Deji and KSI. The difference here is that Dub is older than DDG, which maybe like makes him a little bit more mature. So I didn't mean to say that, I didn't mean to allude to DDG being older than his brother Dub. But what I'm saying is that could create its own issues between brothers as well. Because like older brother is kind of like the young buck of younger brother. And it's like, this isn't supposed to be the dynamic. But ignoring that and getting back to the topic is, I think this is just rage bait, dog. I do think that Rodney's son believes that, but it's just because he believes 30 is so far. But things happen quick. People spend a lot of bread quick. And it's also like, what else is he going to do? But it is funny. He's like, yo, you're 30 years old and streamer beef. I don't think Dub looks at, well, yeah, Dub is actually getting into physical situations. So I'm not even going to pretend or try to give grace to be like, nah, he understands that he's just acting. Like, this is his job. And, you know, beefing with people is going to get him more lit. And he's entertained. This is the thing. You're all entertaining the same audience of kids or young people. So that's like saying, well, this person's Mr. Rogers is in his 50s, but he's out here, you know, telling people to tie their shoes and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's like, bro, you're 50. Well, yeah, but his audience and his business is catered to a certain demographic. So yeah, there's going to be people in that demographic like Ryan's toy reviews that were in Mr. Rogers' old demographic. So that's where I don't really see the guy's point. But I do find it funny. I genuinely find ageism funny and entertaining. And I think people love it. It's just like, it's just such an easy dismissive thing. It's like, oh, not funny, plus you're white. That thing kind of stopped. But for a little while that was going on. I don't know if it was last year or 2023, but that's hilarious because they're just dismissing somebody on something just so minuscule. And you could say like there are cultural aspects of that, which is different than age. But the age one is even funnier because it's just like, yo, you're 30. And I just find that hilarious, like making fun of 30-year-olds. In a good way, as in that should continue. Because in reality, it doesn't matter. Like, dog, we've got rappers in their 40s with successful careers still, and nobody's tripping off their age. 2 Chainz is in his 40s. Who else is in his 40s? A lot of other rappers that we're still listening to. So I think like things have changed a little bit in hip hop and like culture, I guess. But I don't know about streaming. That's a different story. But like Dub, this guy's clearly still lit. I don't think people really care. They just look at it like, yo, that's Unc or that's Big Bro. But like I said, I love the making fun of, yo, you're 30. But that's the thing. That dude Dub might be 30 or in his 30s. DDG's 27 and he gave this dude 30. When Rodney's son or Reggie is like, what, 22? It's like, bro, you're the same age.
I don't know if he got a stale loose leaf or something. Stale some weak weed that day, but you was feeling yourself. Now there's no return. I'm on your and I want to see you in real life. Like, I'm telling y'all, bro, I done seen this little ass boy. I done seen this nigga, bro. I done smoked weed with in these dorms, right? Smoking weed with this in his dorm. This DDG, you got it, bro. You one of the ones, bro. Like, bro, you really made the blueprint, like sucking. Like, bro, it's so crazy. I guarantee you, bro, if motherfucking Reggie accidentally walked in this hotel right now, that nigga shit himself, bro. You's a bitch. Nigga. That's what it is. You a grown man, act grown, not a little kid. You gonna have to address this shit.
DDG proves my point here. Picture perfect. Rodney's son, aka Reggie, he said DDG's music was trash. And he said, mind your business. He didn't say DDG didn't pioneer this. He didn't say he wasn't watching DDG when he was growing up. He even said like, yo, we love that vlog stuff. They was faking beef back then, but we loved it. So he still gave you your praise. But DDG is like one of those type of dudes. And people say like, yo, why don't you show love? You got to show more love. Because somebody takes that love, puts it in their pocket, and then brings it out to aim it right back at you one day in the near future. People talking about like, yo, you know, you be vulnerable with a chick and she just gonna hold on to that and bring it up another day, like some insecurity you got. Dudes be doing that. Like, and especially if you show love to another person's like influence, accomplishments. This guy's trying to flip it on Reggie now and say like, yo, I remember you was D-sucking. Oh, okay. So it's showing love when you mess with the person, but when you don't mess with them anymore, it's D-riding. And this is why you cannot show a person like DDG love. You cannot. Now, you know, I like to be fair. So I will give credit where credit is due. But Reggie's right. He's talking about, yo, you started streaming because everything else wasn't working out. Where would your music be if you weren't streaming right now? And it would be where it was a year and a half ago. Nowhere. Nobody would know what was going on with the music. But that's also like ingenuity, where it's like DG knows what to do to get popping and to make the music work and to make everything work together now. Like music is working, merch is working, content is working, streaming is working, YouTubing is working, everything is working except for the family aspect. That's in tatters, and it's going to be a long drawn out war. But yeah, I don't like the whole turning it into D-Rod. D-Rodden because he gave you your credit for the content you created. He was, now if he was there telling you like, bro, man, I don't know how you not like triple platinum. I don't know why people don't mess with your raps that much anymore, or like why don't they mess with your raps more? And then he says your music is trash. That's D-Rodden. You could say he was D-Rodden and then he switched up, but now he's going full in on this guy, and I think it's justified by DDG, and I think DDG also realizes like, yo, beef is good for business. But the thing where he tries to take it physical is where I'm like, yo, dog, are you not learning your lesson with Halle Bailey? You want to get into another physical altercation with this guy? Now, there is levels of disrespect, and I agree with DDG where it's like, yo, some people just say anything. Like, for example, that FaZe guy, Stable Ronaldo. I think DDG is trying to tell this younger dude a lesson where, like, that Stable Ronaldo guy, it's a meme that Bradley Martin, who's like this big bodybuilder, YouTuber, a fitness influencer, I guess you could say, not necessarily bodybuilder, but that's what he does. He lifts weights. People make fun of him because he's always wearing a hat and like his hairline, or he's bald, things like that. So this Stable Ronaldo guy goes and tries to like flip his hat off or take his hat, and then he gets slapped in the face. And I don't know what that guy was thinking, but that's an example of what DDG is saying. Is like, yo, there's jokes. Like, for example, if that guy cracks some jokes about Bradley Martin, he's like, yo, can I take your hat off? Or like, yo, what's underneath that hat? That's one thing. Say, okay, we're on stream, these are jokes, but you start touching the guy, getting in his personal space, and taking something off of his head, you're going to get smacked. And I think that's what DDG is saying, is like, yo, we can go back and forth, but once you take it to a certain level where it gets to disrespect, that's where it's got to get taken to the next level. And I understand that, and that's an adult thing, and maybe he doesn't get that because he's not a grown man, and he's talking about all these other people that are grown men. But you are a grown man, you're 21 plus, so you're going to have to handle whatever consequences come with the people that you're dealing with. And I just hope that this doesn't escalate and it just stays kind of like online and beef back and forth, like kind of like Soluminati and DDG. That way we can all enjoy ourselves. They can make a ton of money off the attention. We can enjoy and get our entertainment. We can talk about it and just have a grand old time together. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Do you think it's going to get worse, or you think this is purely just entertainment? I think DDG's taking this really personally, to be honest. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.